Hello everyone and welcome to OGSpot. In this episode we're gonna take a second look at the Frozen Orb Barbarian, and this time it also includes Blizzard as well. Recently I've tweaked the build to a better version of it, and I think it's almost complete. In terms of upgrades, it can still benefit some from better charms and probably adding a Nicholas charm, and that's about it, I think. Maybe mid-maxing the items, but overall that's gonna be the end version of this build. So let's take a look at the distribution stats first. We've got a base value of 130 strength, 60 dexterity, and absolutely everything else goes into vitality to boost the life pool as much as we can. Now let's have a quick look over the advanced stats. So as you can see, we've got 9% life stolen per hit, quite a decent amount of extra gold from monsters, 9 life after each kill, 10 to light radius, so we're kinda shining in a dark environment. 20 to increased attack speed, 30% faster on walk, 40% faster hit recovery, half raise duration, which is not needed simply because we got the cannot be frozen mode, 271% enhanced damage to demons, as well as 361% damage to undead. Attackers take damage of 15, and now the more interesting part. So we've got 68% chance of open wounds, 30% chance of crushing blow, and 47% of deadly strike, to which you can add another 31% of critical strike, which is coming from the sword mastery. It works exactly the same as the deadly strike, so you can just apply 31% in addition to the deadly strike, which means almost every single hit we land is going to be double damage hit. We've got also a cold absorb of 40% and additional 20 cold absorb, in which with the cold resistance 90 I can say that we're nearly cold immune at this point, which is absolutely amazing. Minus 20% slower stamina drain, plus 8 to cold skill damage, and minus 48% enemy cold resistance. So that's about the advanced stats tab. Now let's briefly talk about the changes which I've recently made to this build and make it viable. Let's start with the inventory first. So I've slightly changed the charms. I've added as much as I can for adding maximum damage as well as attack rating and resistances. This improved the build quite a lot, I'd say. We're at this state now we can leech quite efficiently, so we've got that survivability, and as you can see the charms are a little bit better than what they used to be. I've got a better Raven Frost ring as well with slightly more attack rating. We've changed the armor from smoke, we've upgraded to duress, which I'd say definitely works very well with this build. I've also changed the gloves to Draco's Grasp, and these ones are, I'd say, the pinnacle of the build. They provide us with the survivability we've been looking for. And I've also socked the Spired Helm with all resistances 14 and 3 to 9 cold damage dual, so this helped a lot. Now let's talk about the belt which I've put. That's a Snow Clash belt. Normally sorceresses are using this belt, primarily Blizzard sorceress, but with the addition to the Frozen Orb and the mainly cold damage we're dealing, this belt actually works extremely well with this build. So it provides us with additional 13 to 21 cold damage, which is stacking very well with the cold damage coming from the Nightwing, as well as the cold damage coming from both the Raven Frost rings. So at this point we got 383 to 453 cold damage per hand on every single hit, which is absolutely amazing. And we're doing very well at this point. Now let's show you the changes which I've made to the skill tree. So over the Warcries tab, we've got a single point into Hoe, single point into Shout, maxed out battle orders, and a single point into battle command. Let's go over the combat masteries page. In here, we've got maxed out sword mastery, single point into increased stamina skill just to unlock the increased speed skill, another single point into it as well. We've got 10 points into natural resistance just to increase our resistances as much as we can. And simply there is a diminishing return on this skill, so you don't really want to level it up above 10, I'd say. That's the point where you hit the diminishing returns. So let's go over the combat skills. In here, we've got a single point into Bash, single point into Leap, just to be able to jump in and out of combat and spicy situations. Our primary attack is going to be double swing, so we've got this one maxed out. And we're also using Frenzy as a speed booster every now and then, so we've got a single point into double throw and a single point into Frenzy just to unlock it. Now, double swing being a synergy skill for Frenzy, this means also our Frenzy benefits quite a lot, so it gets slightly better damage as well. Now, let me show you the build in action. I'm gonna do a quick pit run. I've already shown the build in its much weaker state during the Chaos Sanctuary, and that's been possible, so with this current state it's absolutely breeze. You don't even have to worry about drinking potions and that. It's working extremely well at the moment. A brief talk about the Mercenary Setup. So I'm using a Defiance Aura Mercenary, Act 2, which is equipped with G-Face helmet for the Deadly Strike, the Strength bonus, and the faster hit recovery. The armor is one which I've recently made in videos, so you can check it out. It's bone armor. I'm using it for the damage reduction and the all resistances, as well as the perks of casting Bone Spear and Bone Armor. So our mercenary also gets style points as much as our character does wearing these armor. The weapon of choice is Bone Heal, soaked with 2 Amrons, just to be able to provide the mercenary with decent amount of life leech so he can sustain himself in a battle. This weapon is really interesting. It also gives 50% chance to cast level 16 Bone Spear, so at this point the mercenary got 65% chance to cast Bone Spear on hit, which is really amazing and really cool. You can also see the added bone armor effect on the mercenary. This is absorbing physical damage, so our mercenary is rocking with us quite nicely. You can see his resistances. His damage seems a bit low, but don't let that deceive you. He's got a decent amount of attack speed as well as crushing blow. And the main reason I'm actually using this mercenary is not for its damage output, it's just to get the additional defense coming from the Defiance Aura. So the mercenary himself is very tanky. It's got over 11k defense, which is plenty for hell difficulty. Our character with the mercenary got over 20k defense, which is absolutely amazing. At this point we're super tanky. Without the mercenary we got about 14k defense. So even without mercenary we are performing very well. And let's go ahead and just go into the pits. So normally you see a lot of cold immune monsters in the pits, and that's why I'd like to show the build over there. Mainly the monsters are easy to kill, so you can farm this area very quickly and efficiently. It's also super fun in here, and you can kind of get an idea how we can also deal with immune to cold monsters, even though we're extremely cold damage based. So as you just saw, those monsters were immune to cold, but this is not an issue at all. So what I like to do is charge the Frenzy up just to get the boost to move and attack speed, and right after that I start attacking with double swing, simply because the double swing skill provides a much faster attack rate compared to Frenzy. You just attack way faster, and that means the more attacks you do with this build, the more chance you got to spam those cool Frozen Orbs and Ice Blasts around. And we've also got the addition of casting level 13 Blizzard, which is absolutely amazing and works extremely well with our current setup. Whenever we cast Blizzard, it definitely does a ton of damage to the enemy. So it's super fun to watch Barbarian fighting around big groups of monsters, adding that amazing crowd control. As you just see, we've got our Blizzard casted, and that was totally awesome. We just annihilated a big group of enemies over there super quickly. So as you can see, our mercenary spamming those bone spears is getting the bone armor shield, we're casting blizzards, we're casting frozen orbs, we're casting ice blasts, and it's absolutely amazing. It looks really fun, really cool. Basically just running around at that decent speed which Frenzy provides you, and then you attack super swing with the double swing skill, so you ultimately spam those frozen orbs everywhere, and it's extremely satisfying, to be honest. It also does really decent amounts of extra damage. We pretty much annihilate everything which is not cold immune at this point. And this build can perform very well even in the Chaos Sanctuary. That's the current state it is. It can also do battle runs as well. I've tried it up, it works very well up to player 3 difficulty, and at about player 4 that's where it kinda starts to drop out. But even then it's very helpful for a party character, simply because you've got that massive amount of boost coming from your shout and battle order, and the crowd control which you can provide to the group with the constant frozen orbs and slowing and freezing down the enemies. So this character is definitely very good for farming a party, doing group battles, just a singular playthrough, even playing in a group. You can absolutely do it all. You can run pretty much all of the acts, I'd say. I'm not sure about doing others with this setup. I doubt it's gonna work, but maybe I'll try in the future. Of course, we've got a super high amount of damage to demons and damage to undead, as well as the crushing blow, the open wounds, and all the other nice effects, the deadly strike and the critical strike as well. So there's that slight possibility this build can also be able to do others, but we'll have to do a further investigation about that. And I'd say this is probably the best setup which you wanna aim for if you're willing to create this character. I don't think Fortitude armor is gonna work better than this Duress, for example, simply because the Duress provides us with really decent amount of resistances. It's stacking up very well with the Dracul gloves, as well as the Gore Rider boots and the High Lord's Wrath amulet we've got. And also the added cold damage is further amplified by wearing the Nightwing, which increased the amount of damage, and the minus 48% enemy cold resistance which we've got from the Two Voice of Reasons. So this cold damage we're dealing is extremely amplified. As I've said, we'll deal about 500 cold damage extra per hand, and that's further amplified, so we can probably deal about 1000 cold damage to monsters which don't really have good cold resistance, and that's absolutely amazing. Then on the top of that, we're spamming the Ice Blast skill, which is level 20, and that's the maximum, and we also got a lot of Frozen Orb spamming. Then on the top of that we can cast the Blizzard skill as well, which is hitting like a truck. So overall, I'd say I'm very satisfied with the way this build performs. It seems to be really decent, really effective, it kills stuff extremely quick, it's also super fun, and I've played it in some open public games, and people were like, "Whoa, what the, you know?" Everybody was just, "What the hell's going on? What's this character? How did you make it?" and things like that. So people are kind of impressed with this build. Overall, I'd say it's definitely very fun and effective. Give it a try for yourself, and that's gonna be it for this video, guys. You know what to do if it's been helpful for you. Also, stay tuned for the next one, and I'll see you later. Bye.